Hello everybody and welcome to today's hip opening stretch. We are going to start seated today. So come down to a seat, let your legs be nice and wide and make sure that your sitting bones are on your mats. From here we're just going to start with a nice wide leg forward fold. So find a nice tall spine, bring your fingertips to the mat, take an inhale. Exhale, start to walk your hands forward and find a fold that works for you. Keep pressing through your heels as much as you can. And see if you can open up into your inner thighs any more, maybe by a little gentle wiggle into your hips to help you lower down. Breathing nice and deep. Taking 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, round your chin to your chest. Start to walk your hands in towards you. We're going to come to a bound angle next. I want you to bring your feet onto your mat and then let your knees just drop away from each other. Soles of the feet to touch. Now you can be really generous with the space between your feet, or you can hug your feet in, whatever feels better for you. And then again, a nice long spine, shoulders rolled down. And just breathing here. Maybe time to gently guide the knees down to the mat to help open the hips just a little bit more. And if stillness is ever uncomfortable here for you, maybe just a flutter into the knees. There's no need to stay completely still. We'll stay here for about 2 breaths. Then finding a nice gentle twist within your bound angle. So you can have your hand on either your feet or in your lap. We'll place the right hand in front of us and we'll bring the left hand behind us, staying within this diamond shape, thinking about spiraling the spine all the way up into the sky. Twisting as much as you can from your core and using your exhales to go a little bit deeper if you can. One more breath here. Then with your next exhale, come back round to the front of your mat. Again, staying within this diamond shape, we're taking it to the other side. So left hand in front of you this time, and then right hand all the way back. Find that twist. Breathing in, breathing out. Remembering the spiraling up and round. Find that twist. One more breath. Then coming back to center. Using your hands to draw your knees back together. We're going to come to find out all fours. So bring your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Find a nice stable base. We're just going to start with some hip circles or some figure of 8s, whatever really works for you. So maybe sending your chest forward and then your hips down to the right side, heels, then to the left. Rounding as much as you can, really getting into those hips. Then taking it the other way, reversing those circles. Then finding stillness. Finding a tabletop and then into your lizard. So we'll take our right foot to the outside of our right hand, stepping straight into our lizard pose. I want to spend a little bit of time here, so think about lengthening the spine, opening the chest, and just breathing. And maybe if you want to, and it feels good for you, you walk your hands towards the top of your mat, and you start to guide your elbows down to find a low lizard. Staying here for about 2 breaths. One more. And then walking your hands, bring your palms back onto your mat. We're going to take a twisted lizard from here. So just make sure that your right toes are pointing out to the right side. Bring your right hand onto your inner knee or thigh and just gently guide that right knee out, opening up. Then turning your chest to face the right side of your mat And just breathing here. One more breath. Then really gently coming back into center. Sliding this leg all the way back into your tabletop. And taking that straight onto the other side. So left foot to the outside of your left hand, stepping it forward and through. Adjusting yourself into your lizard as you need to. Maybe that length in the spine, maybe the chest is opening. Then again, walking your hands one step further if you want to, perhaps staying here or bringing the elbows down to find a low lizard. We'll take 2 breaths here. One more breath. Then nice and gently walk your hands back into center. We're going to take that twisted lizard again. So left toes out to the left side, left hand on the inside of that leg, and then gently easing it out, twisting the chest around to the left side of your mat. Breathing here. One more breath. Then gently coming back into center, bringing both your hands down, sliding the leg away, back into our tabletop. We're going to find our downward facing dog, our first one of the sequence. So tuck the toes, take a nice inhale. Exhale, lift your hips all the way up. Just breathe here, maybe pedal out the legs. Find a little bit of movement, maybe even a sway of the hips. And then start to just gently walk your feet forward, finding your forward fold at the top of your mat. Letting your head and your neck hang nice and heavy. Try not to add any tension to the body, let it all just be nice and light. Maybe a little sway if that feels good. And then really slowly start to roll all the way up to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Rolling back the shoulders, wiggling off any tension. Now we're going to come to our goddess pose. So you can turn sideways or just use the top of your mat. We're going to walk the feet out wider than the mat, wider than the hips. Take the toes out, heels in, hands to heart center. Now breathe here, take a really big inhale. And exhale, bend into the knees, find your goddess pose. That's up to you how low you go. What we're doing is just opening up the hips. We're guiding the knees out towards the toes and we're staying nice and strong through the legs. One more big deep breath in. And out. And when you're ready, inhale, lift all the way up, bring the arms with you. Turn your feet to be parallel, palms together and fold forward. A little sway of the hips when you arrive, bending into one knee and then the other knee. Then really gently shuffling the feet back together. If you're facing sideways, just turn lengthways on your mat. We're going to take our halfway lift. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Palms together, heart center. We're going to step our right foot to the back of the mat, finding our high lunge. When your legs are ready, you can lift up the arms, finding that nice, strong pose. Breathing in, breathing out. One more breath in. Then with your next exhale, take it to your warrior two. Turn on that back foot, open out the arms. If you want to, you can heel toe that back foot away, create some more width in the legs. Another full inhale. And an exhale. Now from here, we're going to come to our triangle pose. I want you to straighten out your front leg. Reach your left hand forward and bring the hand down. Finding a nice long triangle. Try to stack the shoulders on top of each other. Keep the chest nice and open. Maybe your eyes are at your fingertips, maybe they're down at the mat, or maybe they're straight ahead. Breathing in. Breathing out. We'll come straight into our side angle from here. I want you to bend into your left knee. Now you've got some options. You can bring your left fingertips down and take your extended side angle, or you can bring your left forearm onto your left thigh and find that just normal side angle. Maybe making it a little bit deeper by stretching into the side body, bringing the hand all the way to the top of the mat. Another inhale. Another exhale. Then inhale, lift all the way up, back to your warrior two. Take an inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, roll them down. Then nice and slowly cartwheeling your hands down to your mat, finding your runner's lunge. Now I want all of your toes to face forward. This is quite a tricky pose, quite a strong pose. So maybe shuffling that foot back will help you find a little weight in those hips. So we're not lifted, we're keeping that bend into that front knee, we're feeling nice and strong here. Stretching out our hip flexor of our right hip. Breathe in. Breathe out. And from here, lots of little steps, or one big step to the top of your mat, back to your forward fold. A nice long inhale. And an even longer exhale. Maybe a light sway from side to side. Then really slowly rolling all the way up, taking your time, there's no rush. Rolling the shoulders back. Hands to your heart. We're going to take that all again onto the other side. So stepping your left foot to the back of your mat, finding your stable base through your feet, and then rising the arms. 2 big deep breaths here. Then with your next exhale, find that warrior two, turn on that back foot, lengthen out the arms. Maybe roll off the shoulders if you need to. And again, if you want to make your legs a little bit wider, you can here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Straightening out that front leg. Finding our triangle pose, reaching the right hand forward and down towards the mat. Left hand nice and high, creating this triangle shape in the body of the legs. Again, gaze can be at the toes, can be straight ahead, or can even be up at the fingertips. A nice long breath in. And out. And then straight to our side angle. Again, your options. You can bring your right fingertips down to your mat, creating this extended side angle pose. Or you can rest your forearm onto your thigh, whatever feels better. Lengthening as much as we can through this left hand and maybe stretching it all the way over. Another long breath. Then with your next inhale, lift back up to a warrior two. Nice and strong through the arms, maybe a little roll of the shoulders. Then with your next exhale, cartwheeling your hands down to your mat. Turning all your toes to face forward. And again, taking that really nice deep runner's lunge for the hip flexor. So maybe shuffling your foot back slightly, feeling those weights in those hips, lifting the chest. Breathing in. Breathing out. Then again, lots of little steps, or one big step to the top of your mat, finding your forward fold. Head and neck are going to hang really heavy, slight sway from side to side. Then again, a really long roll all the way up to standing, taking your time, rolling the shoulders back. Lovely. From here, we're going to come into a malasana, our yogi squat. So I want you to take your feet again wider than your hips, maybe out to the sides of your mat if you're lengthways. Breathing in, lifting the arms. Palms together, heart center. Start to guide the knees out towards the toes. And this time maybe sinking your hips all the way down. Maybe you're a little bit higher, that's fine too. If you are in this low malasana yogi squat, then I want you to see if you can use your elbows and just guide your knees out to the sides, making sure they don't cave in, keeping the chest lifted, breathing in, breathing out. Spine is nice and long. Another breath. Then really gently bring your fingertips down. Start to shift your weight forward and lift up the hips. Turn your feet to be parallel once more and just gently sway from side to side. Lovely, and then shuffling your feet back in, same again. If you're on the width of your mat, if you're sideways, on your mat, just gently turn around to face the front. So we're going to step it back to a downward facing dog. Lifting the tailbone nice and high here. Pushing the heels down, breathing in. Breathing out. Then when you're ready, inhale, lift up your right leg all the way to the sky. You can also do this kneeling if you'd prefer. We're going to come to our pigeon pose or a half pigeon. So I want you to bring your right knee towards your right wrist, right ankle, left wrist. Step it through. Breathe in here, just frame the body. Lift up the chest, roll the shoulders back. Another long breath in. And then exhale, find your sleeping swan. Walking the hands forward, you can stay planted on the palms or you can guide the elbows down, whatever feels better. Maybe you're here, slightly lifted, or maybe you're making a pillow for your head and just bringing your head down onto your mat. And from here, walking your hands back. Now we're going to come back to our downward facing dog. So however you want to get there, you can tuck the back toes, push into the palms and then lift back. And then maybe start to pedal off the legs once again. A little shift from side to side. Finding stillness in your downward facing dog and inhaling to lift up that left leg. Again, you can do this on your knees if you want to. Then left knee, left wrist, left ankle, right wrist. Bring it down. Find your pigeon. You might want to adjust yourself slightly. Bring your hands just to frame that front leg and lift up the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe in. Exhale, walk your hands into your sleeping swan. Again, you can make a pillow or you can stay lifted, whatever feels better. A nice full breath in. And a full breath out. Then from here, bringing your hands onto your mat. Again, making our way back to our downward facing dog. So tuck your toes if you want to. Push through your hands and find your downward facing dog. A little pedal off the legs if they need it. And then from here, we'll take a really wide legs child's pose. So plant the knees down, shuffle them out to the sides of the mat, keep your big toes together, and then send your hips down to your heels. Really steady steps and walk your hands in towards your body. Lift yourself up. And then we're going to shuffle our way down to the end of our mat. From here, we're going to take a really controlled roll down to our reclined position. So bring your arms out in front of you. Tuck your chin to your chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your spine all the way down onto your mat, nice and slowly. We're going to meet the knees hugging into our chest, so just bring them in. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side if that feels good. Then from here, we'll come into our happy baby. So bringing your knees towards your armpits, reaching your arms on the insides of your knees, holding on to either your ankles, your shins, or your feet. Shining your feet up into the sky if you want to. Maybe again a gentle rock from side to side. Then hugging your knees into your chest once more. And from here we'll be coming into our Shavasana, our final pose. So just let your legs extend all the way down your mat. Let your hands rest on your belly or by your sides, whatever feels better. From here, we'll bring the soles of our feet onto our mat. We'll let the knees just rock a couple of times from side to side. Then we'll let the legs land to whatever side feels comfortable. Gently roll onto the side of the body and then start to lift yourself up to come into a seat. Just bringing our hands together to seal our practice. So thank you all for joining me here on the online studio. Namaste.